Hello, everyone. Today is day 23 of our 30 days, 30 machine learning problems challenge. Let's go to the list and see what the challenge is about. So, it is about a fraud detection in financial transactions using logistic regression and random forest. We have used both the models in our previous problems, but not together. So this is going to be a new thing where we will be exploring both the problems together. Now, just to iterate it again, this week, this is the final week of our challenge, where we are focusing on uh, exploring the advanced concepts or maybe touch the deep learning, not in depth, but yes, just touch the notch. So let's start with the problem 23. The flow is going to be same as of our previous problems. We will take the help from ChatGPT. ChatGPT will actually give us the full code. We will understand the terminologies, new things that will come while us coding or solving the problem. And the intent is to just learn with the flow, be anything new. So yes, let's get started. I will use this existing window that I have been using for my previous problem so that ChatGPT knows what kind of solutions or how the flow of the response should be. So I'll say, hey, it is day 23 and here is the problem. Okay, it is generating the response. So it says, we are tackling fraud detection in financial transaction using logistic regression and random forest. So this fraud detection, whether the transaction is a fraud or a non-fraud as a normal transaction. So we have to classify or predict in particular classes. So if it is, we have to classify the prediction, then it is a type of a classification problem. And this logistic regression and random forest we have used before as well. And these are two very powerful models. That's what ChatGPT is saying. Now it says that fraud detection is a critical application of machine learning. Okay. And both logistic regression and random forest are well suited to handle the binary classification task. Okay. Which is fraud and non fraud. Okay. And it says here's how we can approach this challenge. First, we'll have to collect the data. We will need a dataset that contains the financial transaction labeled as fraudulent and legitimate. A popular dataset for this is credit card fraud detection from the Kaggle. So I'll go and search for it in Kaggle, and this is like a lot credit card dot csv, and this is of this is of like 150 MB. Let me download it. It has 31 columns as it says. I guess I have downloaded it in our previous problems. So let me go and check it. I should be able to see something called credit card. Yes, credit card.csv. And this was used in like which problem? Let me see. Credit. Yes, day 7 we have used this data set. Let me go and see the day 7 code. And here we are using this UCI, this. We have downloaded this as well. Is credit card CSV, but we have not used it anywhere. Let me go and search it. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Not in dataset. Here, actually, find in. So I've never used this thing. Oh, I can find usage also. I'll find usage. So we are using it in our day 11. Let me go and search the day 11. And if I open the day 11 problem, here we have used this credit card fraud detection where we were required to detect fraudulent transactions as an anomaly detection with what isolation forest. Hmm. So we have used this data previously. That's what I'm trying to say. And which problem? Problem number 11. So we do not need this data set name. I mean, I have downloaded it, but I guess I do not have to unzip it and place it in my dataset folder. You can do so. I'm simply going to go and use the existing one. Then we will have to do some pre-processing since the financial transaction data sets are often highly imbalanced. That is, maybe fewer fraud cases compared to the legitimate transactions. So we have to handle the imbalance. So it is important to handle this imbalance during training. Then we will do feature scaling, which is also required, especially for logistic regression. We have done feature scaling in previous problems using scalar scaling and I guess one more technique. So we know what that is. Uh, and if you have been following this challenge and the past 22 problems, you might know what I'm talking about. Then we are going to implement logistic regression and random forest to classify the transaction as fraudulent or legitimate. Then we'll have to train both models on the data set and compare their performance. Okay. So we are going to implement both the models independently and then we are going to compare the performance of both the models. Since this is a classification type problem, we cannot rely completely on accuracy. You know it now. So we'll have to figure out build the confusion matrix to see the false positive, false negatives, true positive, true negatives. Build the classification report to see the precision recalled F1 score. And then, and if you don't know about these things, what you can do, go to this post, and I have tried explaining things what we encounter while we are solving those problems. So here you can see how to read or make sense out of classification report with the help of examples. Now let me go back to our steps of solving today's problem. So we'll have to pay particular attention to precision and recall since minimizing false negatives, that is undetected fraud and wrongly flagged legitimate transaction is crucial for detection. So we are going to give importance to these things, precision and recall, and also we'll see and decode the classic confusion matrix. That is also going to help us, though ChatGPT is not going to say, but I in the past 22 problems and all the classification problems we have solved, we saw that how helpful confusion matrix has been. Now after that we will fine tune the hyperparameters, as in we have also done that in one of our problems, as in to maximize the performance. So it's I'll say yes, I have downloaded the data set. We can pros with we can proceed with the code. Now I'm doing this one way. I'm thinking maybe I can, so we have already implemented a couple of problems on these, so we can go and use the the already learned things from the existing code, right, or the post. We do not need chat gpt, but I guess we are in this era where we can get our code from chat gpt, so why do we have to do that? So the whole intent of this, or me doing this challenge, is to first get consistent. I was consistent even before, but whenever I was going through any course on Coursera or Udemy, or reading any theory on Kaggle also, I was not getting fully satisfied with the results, or I was not feeling that I was being productive. I guess being a coder or a developer, when you are actually developing something, it actually gives you the true feeling. So that's what how this challenge is helping me. So it says the step by step implementation is, we have to load the data set, we have to get the information of the data set, we have to do data pre-processing. Why? Because the data set can be imbalanced, that is far few fraud and this. Let's do this. Otherwise I will be reiterating again and again. So let's do this. Let's go back and talk about, come back and talk about the step 2 when we will be on the step 2. So let's start with step 1. I have to close this step thing, come to this terminal, close it, and create a file called day23.py. Add it to our Git repository, mention what the problem is. So the problem is, let me go to the previous post, and the data set is from this. Now let's do step number 1. Import pandas as PD. Step 1 is going to be load the data sets. So we are going to do what? The data is going to be loaded from this read CSV and store is placed under dataset credit card CSV. Then we are going to read the information, as in how many columns and rows are there and what is the data type of those columns. Then we will print some sample, like starting 5 rows from this head function of the data frame. Then I'm going to increase the window size of my terminal, run this file 23.py, and see what how the data is looking. So as we saw in the here, that it has 31 columns, so we can see it has 31 columns. There is this class column that says that whether the transaction is a fraud transaction or a legitimate transaction. Others are the features for the transaction. So these are the features: version 2, version 3, version 4, and at time 0. And does it has anything else? Time and the version, and the class that tells about whether the uh, whether the transaction is a fraud or legitimate. I guess 0 represents not fraud, 1 represents it is a fraud. But let me go and validate it. Uh, Let me go and we'll say class. Yeah. The dataset presents transaction that occurred in 2 days, where we have 492 frauds out of 284. Okay, so we see the data set. It's in the description, it says it has 492 frauds and 284,807 transactions. I mean, from 2,84,000 transactions, there are only 492 frauds. So we have imbalance in the data set. It says that the data set is highly imbalanced. The positives are fraud account for 0.072% of all transactions. Now, um, feature class is response variable, and it takes one in case of fraud, zero in case of what, otherwise legitimate. So I'll say the feature class in this data set is the response variable, and it takes the value 1 in case of fraud and 0 in case of legitimate. Okay, so we have understood the data set. Let's go back and look at the step 2, which is data preprocessing. Step 2, data preprocessing. And in this data set, what we are trying to do, we are trying to handle the imbalance. So, since fraudulent data set are typically imbalanced, so what we are going to do, we are going to see. It says that the data set is highly imbalanced. Okay, because it has 492 frauds and 2,84,000 transactions. From 2 lakhs 84,000 transactions, only 492 are frauds. Then I'll come back and say we'll need to handle this carefully. We'll also perform basic pre-processing such as feature scaling needed for logistic regression. And then we will split the data into training and testing sets, again with the 80-20 ratio. Okay. Okay, so let's do pre-processing. First, we are going to check if there is any missing value in the sum. So, if there is any missing value, return the count. Then we are going to do what? We are going to separate the features from the target value. As we saw, the target is the class that shows 0 for, 1 for fraud, 0 for legitimate. So we are going to split that, train it, and then scale it, because that is required for logistic regression. And we are going to scale it using standard scaler. We saw standard scaler. Where did we saw scale logistic? Did we scale here? No, but I guess we scaled something. I'm just trying to see where did we apply scaling. I might have to implement a. I remember I did it in this. Let me, instead of opening this, but I can find in the code. I remember we did somewhere here. We did on problem number 14. Yes. We applied standard scaling, and we have also understood. You can go and watch the video here why we applied standard scaling. I guess previously also applied standard scaling. I feel we have applied. So let me go. For my satisfaction only, I'm doing this. On day 6. So we applied standard scaling on this problem, which was about predict the wine quality. Now we saw what standard scaling is. I'm not going to iterate again. Just a brief. It helps. So, for example, we have features. One feature is like this. One feature is like that. You see, the range for these feature is like difference between the range for these feature is huge. Now, since the if when the model is training, it can give high priority to height because the scale, the range, the feature this feature lies from is is huge, is larger than this range. So now, to not have our model biased, we do what, we standardize the scaling using standard scaling. And how does it do it? Does this by calculating mean standard, applies a formula like this, and this is how it turns the each feature, a numerical feature, into this, where the mean comes around 0 and the standard deviation comes around unit, right? So this is what standard scaling is, how it works and why we use it. So yes, we are going to use standard scaling today. If you do not understand and think that we are going too fast today, I would recommend to go and watch those videos. I don't know how helpful they are going to be for you, but yeah, it is helping greatly to me at least. So yeah, let's import our other libraries from sklearn. Model selection, import test sorry train test split, which we will be using to split the data into training and testing data sets. Then we are going to import the pre-processing, import standard scaling, which we will use to scale the data. uh, Now we will do what? Let's do what? Let's print handle missing values. Let's print how many missing values we have. Print data if is null, and then submit. And I'm going to hide it and move, increase the window size, and not this, run this. And we have problem. Oh, we are doing it on an object, but is null is not an object, it is a function, right? So it says each column has how many null values? This has 0, 0, 0. So we don't have any null value. Okay. Uh, okay. We don't have any null value. We don't have any column with null value. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to split the separate, create feature and target data sets. Okay, so the feature is going to be data drop what class and we have to drop the column. Okay, and the target is going to be, this is going to be our features, and this is going to be our class target, and I'm going to copy it again. 1 is for fraud and 0 is for legitimate. Okay, now let's do what, let's split it. Sorry, x train, x validation, y train, y validation, train test split, specify the, okay, sorry, specify the x and y's, the feature and targets that we want to split. The size for our test size is going to be 0.2. Okay, the size for our test data set is going to be 0.2, which is the 20% of our data set, and the randomness is going to be 42, as in we are want to keep the randomness, as in we want to make sure whenever we are running this data. Just give me a second, I have to make sure my cat is okay. I'm so sorry. Yes. So we pass this random state because we want to make sure that whenever we are running our script, it is producing the same, splitting the same data sets, as in producing the same output. This function. Once done, we train split the data set into training and validation data sets. Okay, training will go with 80% and validation will go with 20%. Okay, then once done, we are going to scale the data uh, for logistic regression. Feature scaling, feature scaling. This is im- important for logistic regression. So what we are going to do, we have to import. Okay, we have already imported scalar and standard scalar. We'll do that, and then we are going to scale our features. We do not need to scale our target, right? Because it is already 0 and 1. So we will scale, that is unit scaling. That now we will scale our x train scaled using our scalar fit transform the x train, and yes, and now we have developed our vocabulary. The now on the same thing we'll have to scale the x test, sorry, x validation scale scalar fit on the same vocabulary, this x validation. Okay, so now we are done with it. Now we simply have to go and apply this train our models on this data. Okay, so what we'll do, train step 3, train the logistic regression model, train and evaluate model. So we'll do what? For that we have to go and import the models. So we are going to import the model from sklearn, linear model, import logistic regression, and from sklearn metrics we are going to import accuracy score, confusion matrix, and classification report. Okay, so now we will come here and do what? Drink water. So I'll create logistic regression model. It is going to be logistic regression and log regression model. This is better name. Dot fit on X train scale and uh, prediction. Make prediction and evaluate. So prediction log regression predictions is going to be predict on X validation scale. Now evaluation of models performance. So it is going to be small m. Logistic regression accuracy is going to be accuracy score of the um, sorry, I have to fit on a strain scale, and the I did not pass the target value, no. So y trim. So the actual values are going to be y validation and the prediction, and then we are going to do log regression confusion matrix, confusion matrix confusion matrix of the actual values and the predictions made. And we are going to do what? Log regression report classification report and against the actual value and the predictions made from the logarithm logistic regression. Once done, we are going to print, and we are printing, sorry, and it is accuracy score of logistic regression is accuracy of logistic regression, and confusion matrix is going to be for logistic regression is confusion matrix for logistic classification report of logistic regression is the classification record of logistic regression. And then we are going to train Parallelly, we will train so that we can go and compare it. Step number 4, train and evaluate the random forest model. Random forest model. Let's import the model package. sklearn.ensemble import random forest classifier. Give two spaces, two lines. Do what? Random forest model. It's rand forest model. We call random forest classifier. We do need to specify the random state is 42 so that the it generates the same output, and we are going to fit the model on X train, not the scaled one, if you see, and the values for train, the target values, then make prediction. So we will do what? Random forest predictions. It is going to be random forest model dot predict X validate, and we'll do what? Evaluate. Evaluate the model's performance, and we will do what? We will copy everything and paste it, and here it is going to be random forest accuracy. What I'll do, I'll copy it and replace it, and this is going to be, we'll replace it later. This is this, this is this, this is this. We have changed everything. It is going to be random forest prediction for random forest prediction, and this is random forest predictions against, build this matrix against random forest in actual value. And here I have to make spelling mistake, correct this, and we have to print accuracy for random forest. Remove it, and this is it. Now we will do what? I also want to visualize it, so I'll print, run this code once, and maybe then visualize it. And we have got the error. Standard scaling. So the error is at which line? The error is at 42. 42 is when we are making predictions on the this, not fit, transform. Use the same transform. So run it. Our logistic has worked, as in it has been trained and evaluated the performance. The accuracy for logistic is coming as 99 posts, 99.9. Um, Random forest is taking some time. So what I'll do, I'll first of all print everything in the new line. This also I'll print in the new line, print in the new line, print in the new line. Hmm. This random forest is taking like forever to run this, right? I'll terminate it for now. And maybe one by one I can do it. Let's visualize it. Visualization. This is going to be step number 5. And for visualization we'll have to import the library from no import the library directly. Import matplot.pyplot as plt, and we have to see the heat map. So for that we are going to import Seaborn, not this, Librosa. Seaborn as SNS. Give one more space. Come back here. This is going to be our logistic regression, and we will do what? PLT. We will do what? Figure, and we will say the size is going to be 7 is to 5, 2 tiles only, not large. Then we will build the heat map. Data is going to be uh, ac- random forest confusion matrix, and annotation, yes, we want. The format of annotation is going to be decimal. The color is going to be blues, and the extic labels is going to be fraud, zero for not legitimate, and then fraud. Legitimate, let me go and check the spelling. It is correct. And then come back here, pass it as this. There is someone at the door. I'll have to go and pause it. I don't know how much time is it going to take. Okay, so I'm back. So this is going to be our tiles for the X side. Labels for the right side tiles are going to be same. And I'll do what? The X label for the plot is going to be predicted values. The Y label is going to be actual values, and then we will show it. But before that we also need to show specify the title of the plot. It is going to be logistic. Oh, here I should pass the logistic, sorry, yes, logistic regression confusion matrix, and it is going to be confusion for logistic regression. I'll copy it and then do the same for random forest, and minimize the, maybe increase the font a little, and paste everything like that. Here I'll change for random forest confusion matrix, and the title also random forest, sorry, confusion matrix should say like that, and it should be changed to random forest. And now I should run it, and it is going to take some time, I believe. It is taking too much. Should I go and run the logistic regression separately? What do you think? As in, should I go and run the random forest independently? What do you think? I'll wait for 2 more minutes. If not, then I'll go and run the random forest independently. So what I'll do, it is taking too much of the time. Oh, finally it has generated the confusion matrix. So I'll do go, I'll take the screenshot so that it is going to help us generate better. And okay, random forest also it has generated. Oh, it was waiting for me too. My bad. So what I'll go first, I'll have to fix this, fix this, fix this, fix this, fix this, fix this, and fix this, and fix this. Better. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll run it again and come back to here. Now it should be waiting for me. Yes, come back to here. It did work last time, right? So we might not have to wait for too long. I guess for 2 more minutes. So you guys can go either go fast forward to next 2 minutes, but I'd like to keep it because this is, I guess, a development log. I don't have to worry about editing and stuff. Hmm. I'll go here. Why to show? I'll go this way. And if I see last time it was also generating the, so meanwhile it is doing, so we did see that it generated the response, the output for random forest. The accuracy for random forest is coming better. It is 99912 to 99956. Here also I see uh, that the precision is 86 coming here. It is the precision here is coming better for random forest. You'd see the precision for recall is also coming better for the random forest. So the average, which is the average F1 score for precision recall, is coming as 0.86, better for the random forest. Now, if we'll go back and understand what this precision and recall value is, we have generated the response for logistic regression. Let's take screenshot so that we can explore it later. And this is for the random forest. So we'll again take screenshot and close it. And if we'll go to the, understand the classification, how to read classification record. So the precision tells about that out of all predictions your model has made, that is classic, Precision tells about how many were actually correct, and recall will tell about after all the precisions we have made. 86% of the time we were correct, and in random forest we were correct like 97% of the time. And recall value is, it says that how many your model so out of all the correct values, how many times how many, so for example we have like 8 credit card frauds, and out of those 8 only 6 has been correctly detected. So it says 77% times it has correctly predicted the fraudulent. The logistic regression has correctly predicted 58 times, 58% time. So the average is also again come. So our random forest is looking better, performing better if we compare both the models. Now accuracy we have saw, we have explored, we saw, and now let's decode and understand confusion matrix of both the models. So I have taken this screenshot, so I'll go and I'll open it side by side, and I'll open this also side by side. So this is the confusion matrix of logistic random forest. So I'll move in the same order as we have coded and explored the classification report. So we exploring the classification report and accuracy, we